Greetings and welcome to PinballHelp. Mike here. Today I am working on this Bali Wizard, Bali, and I continually pronounce that wrong. People get on my case about it too. Bali. Just doesn't look like Bali to me. It looks like Bali, but anyway, Bali. It's a Bali Wizard, and I'm going to demonstrate a common problem with these old electromechanical machines and how to diagnose when you got score reel issues. Now, quite often it's a common thing. You start the game and the scores don't reset, and if the scores don't reset, the game won't play. Usually it's a pretty obvious thing. Like if you turn the game on, and I think you should hit the left flipper button to make it light up. So when you start the game, it'll spin, and usually if there's one digit that doesn't move, that gives you an indication, oh, okay, some of the switches on that particular score reel are oxidized or something's wrong with it, so you kind of know. So what happens when you see this? In this case, the score reels are still spinning, but everything is at zero. So we don't know, but somewhere on those score reels there's a problem. So what do you do in that case when they're all registering zero, but something is still not set? I'm going to show you a trick where you can find out where the problem is. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go around to the back of the machine, and I am going to hit all the score reels. And I'll go around here and I'll change every one of the reels, once or twice. And I'm doing this with the machine, with the power off, just because it's a lot easier. And so in this case, first we're going to try to figure out what bank it is. So you see I've switched most of the reels on player 1 and 3, and there's one on 2. So let's turn it on and see what happens. So I'll start a game. So it's resetting all those. So it's a good possibility those are not the right ones. So what I would first do is you go through and you change every one of the reels and see which one doesn't reset. That'll give you an idea. In this case, let's go down here to player 4, and we'll set all player 4 reels to 1. And this last digit is always a 0, so that's not an actual reel. Okay. So now we'll start again. So now it kicks out a ball. So we know there's a problem with the switch on one of these reels. We don't know which one it is. It's one of them. Now you could go and clean all of those, and obviously it's always a good practice to clean all the switches. But if you want to try to pinpoint where the actual problem is, so I'm going to turn this off, turn it back on, and start again. See, it's doing it again. So whatever this thing is, it's like an intermittent problem, but it repeats regularly. So now let's find out which one of these switches. So let's start over here with the 10,000 switch. We'll flip that one off. Okay, we know it's not the 10,000. Let's go to the 1,000 switch. Okay. Hit that. It's not the 1,000. Go back. Let's try the 100. Start the game. There it is. So we know the problem with the switches is the 100-point score relay. There's a switch on the 100 point which when it's, for whatever reason, something is wrong there. So we're going to look at that particular score relay, and that identifies it. Now, this is not a foolproof thing, because there still could be, I mean, in this case, we kind of have isolated it to this digit, because whenever we reset this and it goes through the cycle, the game works. Sometimes, you know, this technique won't work for every kind of score reel problem diagnosis, but it will work for this particular kind, where if it's on 0 and it keeps spinning, you can switch all of the digits just one and see if it catches it. Sometimes if it's so oxidized, it may or may not work, but we know it's that 100-point relay. So we're going to go in here and we'll pull this relay, and we'll take a look at it, and we'll go in and clean all the switches. Let's bring the camera around here. Set up our light. Okay. Let me climb in here before I... So it's not all that easy to get in here, so let me just do this, move the camera around. See if I can get a good shot for you. Professional video. Okay. So here's our reel, and these are our switches right here. So we've pulled this reel out, make sure the power's off, and so we've got a bank of 3 switches here, and we've got another switch on the other side. I'll go through and I'll clean all the switches. I'll take this piece of sandpaper and I'll put this through here, and then I will move the switch until these contacts are closed, and we'll clean that. I'll take a look to make sure that the switches are all behaving as they're supposed to. So this is normally the second switch is open right now. I'm going to that should be closed on the 9, so that's a 9 1. I'll clean that. So the one behind it is closed at the same time too. I'm going to open it and then put the sandpaper in and forward it until it's closed, and clean that contact there. This is a tough one to get the sandpaper in when it's closed. Okay, now I'll turn the wheel around, look at the other side, and of course I'll be checking all these wires to make sure everything looks okay. Nothing's touching anything. Looks all right. Now I'll get this guy right here. So this should be, this is like an end of stroke switch. When it closes, it goes down. So I want to make sure there's a good contact on that. Okay. Take a good look at everything. Make sure all the wires are looking okay. Nothing's frayed, nothing's touching anything where it shouldn't. Alright, squeeze this back in here. Some of these machines had all the reels very tight. Okay. So, let's put this back in. Another examination, make sure things are not touching. Okay, let's go around and try it. All right. Turn the game on. Start it up. Okay, that's working. Let's let it drain. I'm going to turn it off, turn it back on. If it was a problem in those switches, it should start. And there we go, working. So this is a useful way of zeroing down into finding out what the specific problem is with the score reel. So to summarize, if you turn on the machine and the score reels keep spinning, if you see one reel that just keeps spinning more than others, and when all the others have zeroed, then you know that that's probably where the problem is, and it's the one of the switches probably not making contact or making contact. It really depends on the layout, but you go for that switch. But when they're all zero and it's still spinning and trying to reset them, you have to set them all to a number and then watch which ones do it. And then you may have to go through each of the different players and the different digit positions to find out which one it is that needs the cleaning if you don't want to do them all. So there's a quick little trick that you can use to hone in on a specific switch that might need some cleaning, so you don't have to necessarily go through and pull them all out. And there you go. Short little video just of a quick problem solving thing. For more, visit PinballHelp.com, and I've got hopefully you will subscribe to this channel so that can help support what I'm doing. That's it. Thanks for watching.